So I've been a fan of the Tiger from Triumph for absolutely ages. First the 800 and then the 900 models, and last year I was lucky enough to spend a month riding around Japan on a Tiger 900. So I think I know the bikes pretty well. Well, for the, wait there, thank you, for the 2024 model year, Triumph have made quite a few changes. Stick around and stay tuned, I'll tell you all about them. Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel for another bike review. As I mentioned, I'm on the brand new for 2024 Tiger 900. I'm on the big Rally Pro version, which is the sort of off-roady focused bike. Got a bit of extra seat height, bit of extra suspension travel, and some nice colour schemes. We'll share those in a second. So what are the big changes that they've made for this latest model of the bike? Well, they've changed the ergos a bit. The engine has had a lot of changes. It's got a bit more power now. They've concentrated on making the bike a bit smoother. It's got a brand new fancier TFT, basically giving it a good old update. So before we get into how it rides, let's take a look at the bike, shall we? Okay, so folks, I'll give you the new Tiger 900 for 2024. A handsome looking machine. I think you may well agree. Let's have a little look over front to back in the usual way, shall we? First off, well, actually down here, look, we've got Brembo style lemurs on here. That's nice. We'll go through the spec properly later on. These beautiful gold shower forks as well, and they are fully adjustable. There we go, you can see the adjuster at the top there. And a really nice paint scheme on this one. I think this sort of grey and red affair, for some reason Triumph always give the Rally Pro version of the bike the best colour schemes. I don't know why that is. I wish they'd do it to the GTs. The Rally Pro comes with the these little crash bars here and the sump protector as well, as you can see. Really nice looking machine. I mean, it looks pretty much the same as the bike did before, but it is a handsome looking thing, and as far as I'm concerned, it's, you know, it looks like an adventure bike should look. Let me show you the startup on this TFT, which, as I'll talk about later, is somewhat slow. Look, I've switched it on and now we're waiting for it to do its thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go, 9 or 10 seconds before it warms up. So a little bit of a quicker processor required there, I think. Oh, actually, let me turn that back on again and just show you the daytime running light, which I think is quite cool on here. Here we go, look at that. Looks nice, that. Although when the bike is actually running, you find both indicators as well are on as daytime running lights. I know some people don't like that. In fact, let me just start her up. And there we go, you can see when it's running, annoyingly, you've got one light here. I would rather both were on. And then you've got the indicators also acting as daytime running lights. Which is something I'm not so keen on, but overall I really do like the looks of this bike. I think yeah, a handsome looking thing, particularly in this colour scheme. Right, back to riding it. Okay, welcome back aboard the bike. So much for what she looks like, and she does look great. It looks like an adventure bike should look, in my opinion. How does she ride? Well, there are immediately some noticeable changes with the bike when you're used to riding the outgoing 900. First off, it does feel more comfortable. So yeah, the changes to the ergos are kind of subtle, but the handlebars are slightly nearer to me. The seat, I don't know if they've changed the seat, but it feels nicely padded. It might just be that I'm used to riding other bikes, but it's nice and soft, this seat. Handlebars nice and wide. And then the other thing that strikes you about the bike is immediately it sounds more triple-y than it used to. Now it does still annoyingly have that T-plane crank. I've no idea why Triumph decided to do that on all the Tigers, because if you remember back on the outgoing Tiger 900, that was the first bike with the T-plane crank. They said it would make it better off-road. Well, most people that buy these bikes, I'll wager, ride them on-road mostly and off-road very rarely. So why have they made it more off-roady for the majority when the majority ride it mostly on-road? Or indeed with the GT version of the bike, which is the on-road version, why don't they give that the normal triple firing order? Anyway, that's just my personal dislike. I used to like the smoothness and the sound of the classic Triumph triple. But anyway, they've stuck with a T-plane crank, but they have changed some of the internals, and they've changed the way that the handlebars and things are mounted, put some more rubber bungs on it to make it smoother. But certainly the engine now sounds more like a triple. It's got that characteristic whistle a bit more than it had before, and it's certainly grunty, and it does feel very smooth. So what they've done to make it feel smooth has worked. Well done, Triumph. Like it. It is a lovely engine, this triple. It started life, well, I don't know how it started life, I think on the original Daytona. Then obviously migrated to the street triple. It got bored and stroked, got made into an 800, then it got made into a 900cc. It's had those changes to its internals, and now we end up with this unit, which is the best of them all. Well, good blipper on here. Comes with a quick shifter and blipper, by the way, which works really smoothly up here. Lovely. If you're used to riding a GS as I am, which has a clunky old quick shifter, even on the new 1300 it's pretty clunky. This is super smooth, thanks I guess to the fact it's got that triple engine. Yeah, lovely, the quick shifter. Let's just try the clutch out of interest. Yeah, nice and light. I guess it's their slip and assist one. If you can use it properly. Yeah, it's the clutch is nice, but you rarely need it because the quick shifter, as I say, is lovely on here. And a lovely ride around these bumpy old roads that we've got. One little feature I do like about the new Tiger, and it may have been there before, I can't remember, but is this adjustable screen. Look, you just grab it, move it down, and you can do it while you're on the move with one hand. Simple, and it works. I think more manufacturers should be doing that sort of thing. Nice one. Just going to come down here to my favourite little handling road. Even though this is the off-roady one, it's worth seeing how it feels on a little twisty section of road. I can come in that way. Very bumpy. Look at these potholes. Unbelievable. Bike soaks them up lovely though. Yeah, loads of low down grunt on here. Yeah, she sounds good now. I like it. Just starting to detect vibes. I'm in third. Look, there are still some vibes there, to be fair. They're not annoying though. Wouldn't stop me buying the bike. Yeah, she's beautiful. Lovely handling. Suspension's plush. I've got this in sport mode at the moment. And even though it's only got 109 brake horsepower, you don't need any more. Perfect for the road. Alright, let me walk you through the specs, shall we? Right, I've got the specs written down. Let's quickly whiz through the numbers. Starting off with the engine, this is the excellent Triumph Triple 888cc now, putting out 106 brake horsepower, which is a little bit up on the outgoing bike. Brakes wise, as I mentioned when I showed the bike earlier, we've got Brembo stylemas on the front. The best brakes you can get, 4-pot calipers here, that's on 320mm discs. On the rear we've got a 255mm disc with a single pot caliper. That lovely looking shower suspension that I showed you a little bit earlier, that gives you 240mm of travel on the front. And on the rear you can see the adjuster there. I hope you've got 230mm of travel. Seat height on this bike is a very tall 860mm, and it varies. You can have it 860 or 880 if you're a really giraffe-like person. I find this pretty tall actually. The bike weighs 228 kilograms wet, which sounds good, you know, on paper, but in fact I find it really quite hard to move about this. That lovely tank will hold 20 litres of fuel. Electronics wise, the bike is absolutely laden. Check out the website for full details, but things I made note of here is that way better 7-inch TFT. It's got auto, blipper, quick shifter, cruise controller standard, cornering ABS and traction control, heated seats, heated grips, basically everything bar radar, but check out the website for full details. And price wise, the Rally Pro will cost you $14,495 according to the Triumph website, although I have seen them for $13,795 if you shop around, which I think is a pretty good price. The GT starts at $12,195. Right, welcome back aboard. Let's just wind her up a bit on this faster section of road. Yeah, lovely. Loads of power there. I mean, you don't buy these bikes for speed, do you? But you know, you're not going to want for more power than this machine has. That 109 brake horsepower actually is fine in the real world and on the road. Handles lovely. Just going to look behind me, and just because one of the complaints I had with the outgoing bike was it had a lot of fork dive. Once I've got past these cars here in this junction, I'm just going to try the brakes and see if she still has that problem. Right, here we go then. Nothing behind. Wow, those brakes are quite something. I don't know if you noticed then, as I braked hard, the hazard lights flashed, so that's one of those features it's got. It's quite like actually, so anyone behind you knows that you are braking hard. Yeah, those Brembo stylemas really are something else. There is nothing wrong with the braking. It stops in, you know, a very short order. but that fork dive is still there even in sport mode. Let's try again. There we go. It's quite controllable though. I don't have any issues with those brakes at all. Let's get a gear that I can pull away in. Nice. Let's just try the rear. Actually, the rear's quite good, although I did feel the ABS cutting in there. It does have lean angle sensitive ABS and traction control. So all the latest bells and whistles in terms of electronics. Yeah, she's a lovely bike to ride. Sounds good, goes well, comfy, looks good, looks like an adventure bike should. I'm liking this a lot. Well done, Triumph. Definitely improved on the outgoing bike, which I did love anyway, but this has just made everything even better. Okay, so it's come to that point in the video where we need to do a little lugging about test, just to see what the bike's like to move around, simulating what it's like to shift the bike about in your garage, and also to check out what the turning circle on the bike is like. So I've come here to Great Bissenden train station, where there's always a few spaces free, and we can do a little bit of a comparison to other bikes. So let's just pop her in a space here. This one looks like it will do perfectly. Pop her in the middle. There we go. Nice and easy to find neutral. Stand is no problem getting down either. Well, it does lean over a fair way. Right, I'll turn her off. Okay, there she is. She does have a big grab handle at the back, look, so something to get hold of. Right, let's get her off the side stand then, which does take a fair old push. Now this is actually slightly downhill here, so it will help me. So I'm going to go to full lock. Round we come. The turning circle feels quite reasonable actually, but as soon as I start to level off and go back uphill again, the weight comes in. It's quite a hefty old beast this, and in fact I couldn't get it any further up, but I could feel gravity was taking its toll. So let's have a look. Middle of that one to the edge of that one. That's pretty tight actually. I've done quite a few of these turning circle tests now, and that is one of the tighter turning circles I've come across. But I would say it does need a bit of heft to get it off the stand. Earlier on I was riding it and I was on some uneven ground, and I had real trouble actually getting off the stand. I had to sort of walk the bike away on the clutch to level the ground so I could actually get on the thing. So yeah, be warned, if you don't like heavy bikes or heavy feeling bikes, or you're a bit of a wimp like me, you might have trouble living with this one. Right, well, I'm stuck behind this car. Let's talk a bit about the switchgear and this new TFT. I have to say this is a massive improvement on the outgoing one. The outgoing one just looked a bit, I don't know, like a toy. This one looks much better. I love this round presentation. The only issue with it is when you want to change something, say you want to change the mode, it moves this to the side and then you can get to all your bits and pieces. It's just a bit slow, the animation. Right, let's put her in road mode now. There we go, road mode. And she moves back again. See if I notice any difference. Actually, in road mode there is a bit of difference. Sometimes you change modes on bikes and there's not much you can tell the difference, but this one already I can feel the throttle is somewhat softened compared to sport mode. Still nothing behind me. I wonder if it does make a difference on that suspension in road mode. No gravel about, nothing behind me. I'm not sure that makes any difference to the fork dive. Just be aware it's there. I mean, if you're going to buy the bike for 2-up riding, then that fork dive does become a thing. I learnt that on that Japan tour. By the way, if you haven't seen that Japan tour, I'll put a link in the corner here somewhere so you can go back and watch that. Great trip. So I know what you're thinking. He's on the off-road version of the bike. Why isn't he taking it off-road and showing us how it works? Well, simple answer is I hate off-roading and I'm rubbish at it. And anyway, I've got dicky shoulders. So yeah, I know this is the off-road focused version of the bike, but you're watching the wrong review if you want to see it off-road. Sorry about that. And then just thinking about my life with Triumph Tigers, I did ride a Tiger 800 as well, the predecessor of the previous bike, in Thailand. So I have ridden a lot of miles on these over the years. I really do like them, and I must say, you know, previously the GS has always been my favourite adventure bike. But you don't need to go whole hog, you know, 24 grand. You can go for one of these at, you know, spec'd up at less than 15, and you've got, you know, almost all that bike, and it certainly looks better to my eyes, but that's a matter of personal opinion, of course. Switch gear on here is, you know, standard Triumph stuff. I'm really glad that they've got proper buttons, look, all over here for all the things that you need frequently, including things like the heated grips and changing the modes and heated seat, all that. It's all on buttons. I like that. And also, the switchgear on here is lit. So few bike manufacturers do that, so well done Triumph. Get out of here quick. Yeah, she sounds nice now, this engine. You probably can't hear it through the mic on the GoPro, but it's got that triple whine, but it's also got a bit of gruntiness to it as well. I like it. So I'll stop moaning about the fact that they went to the T-plane crank. I'd still rather they went back to the L triple, to be fair, but this is now, it feels like a triple should feel, you know. I like it. So just for completeness, I thought I should come out on a slightly faster A road just to see how the bike operates. Well, unfortunately, I'm stuck behind slow traffic. Our roads are so bumpy this year here in the UK, just terrible. But the suspension on here does soak it up nicely. Right, let's get up to speed then. There we are, A road speeds. Look, that windscreen's doing a pretty good job actually of keeping all the air off me. In fact, it's going over my head. I'm 5'8", and I've got no air slapping on my crash helmet, which is nice. I have got a little bit of air that comes around the sides and gets me on the shoulders, but it doesn't feel particularly turbulent. So actually, although that windscreen looks quite small, it seems to do a relatively good job. Alright, let's do a little sum up then, shall we, on the bike? Things I like and the things I don't like. First off, things I like. I love the comfort. They've done a nice job on this. It's a comfortable place to be. The seat really nice. And your riding position, nice and relaxed. Definitely the sort of bike you can do those big miles on when you're on tour or whatever. Beautiful. I like the engine now much more. I mean, I liked it anyway, but the engine is great. And I do like the way you control the TFT, and I like the fact you've got buttons on the handlebar to do it, and the fact it's backlit. There's lots to like about this bike. I like the price as well. Things I don't like, not so much there. I guess for me the main thing is it feels heavy, even though its headline weight figure doesn't sound that heavy compared to other adventure bikes. I do find it tough to move around. It carries its weight relatively high, so if you're a bit of a weakling like me, then maybe look elsewhere. Also don't like the height of it. Now this particular bike is the highest of all of them, being the Rally Pro, so I'd definitely go for the GT if I was going for the bike, because that's the road focused one. It's a little bit lower to the ground, a little bit easier to manage, and I don't need to be riding off-road. Also with the GT you get the 19-inch front wheel. This one has the 21-inch front wheel, which is more off-roady, so theoretically the GT should turn in and handle a bit nicer on the road. Although I have to say, I felt no issues with the bigger front wheel on here. Maybe I'm just not expert a rider enough, but it feels fine. It doesn't feel like it won't turn or anything like this. Look at this lot here, by the way. This is all HS2 works. If you're in the UK, this is what your taxpayers' money is going on, to get people from London to Birmingham a little bit quicker than they otherwise would do. Anyway, let's not get onto that one. The TFT is, although way improved on the old one, is still a little bit slow to start up. Not a big deal, just a minor frustration. Other than that, there's really nothing to not like about the bike, I don't think. The pros definitely outweigh the cons, and this is definitely should be one to be a contender if you're in the adventure bike market. Don't just think you got to go for the big ones, the 1200s, the 1300s and beyond. But these days there's things like this, the Africa Twin, that are just as capable, just as fast as those bikes, and maybe actually suit your purposes more. And certainly you could save a big chunk of cash if you go for one of these now, in quotes, middleweight adventure bikes. Crazy that we call them that, but that is indeed what they are in today's market. So yeah, it's a thumbs up from me, and a well done Triumph for these improvements on the Tiger 900. It was already a great bike, one of my favourite adventure bikes of them all, and yeah, it still is. Well worthwhile. Right, that's pretty much it for my first ride review on the bike. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're interested, stick around to the very end of the video after the credits, and I'll do one of my little fashion segments just to take you through the kit that I'm wearing today, because I know lots of you often ask, you know, what jacket you're wearing, that sort of thing. I'll go through that afterwards. If you've not been to the channel before, I'll be delighted if you would consider subscribing. Don't just do bike reviews here on the channel. But I do all sorts of things about bikes, monthly bike news, trips and tours at home and abroad, you name it, I'll try and cover it here. It'd be great to have you along. Alright, that's it though for this time. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Missing and Fly. Cheerio.
Hey kids, we're the Missing and Flyers.
Alright, thank you for sticking around to the bitter end and my fashion segment. Let's start off with my crash helmet that people often ask me about. This is a Schubert C5. I've had this for, well, I've been wearing these for probably about 2 years now. I really like it. Comes in, this is, the colour of this is called Master Yellow, and it comes in at around about 280 quid, something like that. Quite an expensive helmet, but they are ECE 22.6 approved, which is the latest approval rating. It's a flip top, as you can see. What I love about it is when you close her up, just looks like a sports bike helmet, so I think that looks really good on the bike. I'll stick a link to that below. Next up, my neck buff. This is the TMF neck buff from my own website. Check that out at www.themissingandfly.com. About 8 quid if you fancy one of those. The jacket you've seen me wearing on this review is new for me this year. This is from Segura. It's called the Scorpio jacket. I'll give you a little twirl. It comes in at, I think, about 240 quid. Let me just check. Yep, 240 quid. It's sort of an urban, I call it a mid-season jacket in that it's probably not quite good enough for winter, but it's good in spring, summer as it is now, and winter. I think it looks cool, and it's you know, it's sort of adventure bikey styled. So that's the Scorpio jacket from Segura. Again, link below. These gloves you've seen me wearing are from Halverssons, a Swedish company. They're called the Flon, F-L-O-N, and they're 99 quid. I think these are goat's leather. I think they look rather cool. Nice and comfy too. My jeans, you've seen me wear these forever. These are the PMJ D jeans. They are single layer and AAA rated, so very protective, yet very comfortable. I wear these day to day as normal jeans anyway. And again, I'll put a link to these below. And these boots are the Gordon 2s from Falco. I wear these all the time as my day-to-day boots. They are absolutely brilliant. Price of those, let me check. £209.99 for the boots, so there we go. So just to let you know, those links below, most of them anyway, are what are called affiliate links, and if you click on those links and you subsequently buy something, I get a little bit of a kickback to the channel, so you'll be helping me out, but it's at no extra cost to you. All right, that's it for the fashion segment. I hope that was of interest. Speak to you soon. Oh, forgot to say on the fashion segment, if you don't want to buy online and you want to go and try these things on at your nearest dealer, then check out www.bikerheads.co.uk and you can find out where your nearest dealer is.